This exercise is going to improve your
shading abilities quite a lot.
we use basically in this exercise
Pencil and the eraser. I am using Staedler's
Mars Lumograph pencil and just a normal eraser.
First, I will create these 3 squares. By the way, this pencil that I use is HB grade pencil, and it is graphite pencil. So I have made these 3 squares. You can see the squares. If this left will be the lightest and the rightmost square will be the darkest square, the middle square will have a value between the darkest and the lightest, which can be anything. I'll start shading with as light touch with the pencil as possible. You see that my strokes with pencil is very light and gentle, and I am going very lightly through this surface.
Now I am done with the light shade. Now I'll come to the rightmost square and press the pencil as much as possible and let the pencil go into the tooth of the paper and let the graphite be on the paper as dark as possible.
So I established my darkest tone with this pencil, and now this value will be somewhere in between this and this. I will try to get some shade between these two. This seems a bit darker than the square on the left. If you see, the motion of my pencil is not too much, and I am trying to make the whole square look somewhat uniform. Yes. I think it's on. Try to be as uniform with the squares as possible in terms of shading. Yeah, now you can see that this is the lightest, this is the darkest, and this is a mid-tone between the darkest and the light. Now we'll do a 5 square. 1, 6. Can follow along with me in this exercise. Yeah, now the lightest. Try to be uniform with the squares as much as possible. Try to have the same shade throughout the square. And in case the shades don't match, you have to rub out the square and do it again. That will make this a bit more better square. Here. This seems good. Now I will do the darkest, that is on the rightmost. You see, I will move my pencil in all directions and different type of pencil movements. More about the type of my pencil movements I will explain in another video maybe. But yeah, here I sort of have establish my darkest and trying to fill up the square as much as possible and as uniform as possible, even the edges. Okay. Now let me start with the middle one and try to have somewhere in between this and this a shade. So I think I made this edge a bit too dark. I will rub this a bit. And try to have it as uniform as possible. Okay. Remember, darker than the left one and lighter than the right one. So I will try to have some uniform shade across this square. Here you can see that this one is a lighter shade than this and a darker shade than the left. Okay, now I do this square. It should be darker than this and lighter than the middle one. Be very careful with this. I think I achieved one shade and I somewhat am happy with that. So I will put that on the entire square to be as uniform with this shading. Okay, now coming to this square, it should be darker than this left one and lighter than the right one. So I'm trying to achieve that shade. Seems like it is good, but we can come back to it again if it seems a bit lighter. Certainly this is lighter than this one. I am trying to gain a bit more darker shade than this one. Because these both are looking almost same. Should be a bit careful. Seems like here a somewhat lighter shade than this and darker than this. I think I can stop here. In case you are getting lighter tone, then try to make it as dark as I am making here, but lighter than this. And in case you are getting a darker tone than this, then it is good. Yep. So this is 5 squares as you see, and now let's expand this to 7 squares. Yeah, so you might think that 7 squares, quite a lot of squares to complete, but try to follow with me and see how well you do. So, as before, the light test, I think I could have gone a bit lighter, but maybe I'll go a bit lighter. Okay, now I will rub this and start doing on this. I want to make it a much more lighter color. Let's see if I can achieve it. Okay, it's somewhat light. Trying to draw through the entire square. This also is quite a monotonous exercise. It might not be fun, but it will definitely improve your shading quite a lot. Pencil drawing. Somewhat this square is not very uniform. Trying to get it more uniform. Okay, this square seems a bit or almost like this shape, so it's fine. I think it's a good point. Now the darkest, the 7th square. Pressing the pencil as hard as possible again onto the paper and getting those lines or the shade in. Now I'll choose a middle square. And try to have nearly a middle tone compared to this one. Here, remember, we have 2 more squares. So if we are not able to achieve a good middle tone here, then we may have to rub this square again, redo it. Trying to be a bit extra cautious here. Trying to get a uniform shade on this square. Yep, I think my tone of this square is matching with this middle one here. Now, these two should be darker than this and lighter than this. So This one we hopefully can do it quite dark as possible, so this one too becomes a bit easier. Okay. Trying to achieve a shades which is darker than this. Let's see, seems a bit okay for me, but in this case I will go back and forth between the squares. Little bit darker than this one, I think. Yeah, somewhat it looks darker, so I'll stop here. Then this shade, again not pressing the pencil very hard onto the bit, but rather a bit gentler than weighing very hard, but still trying to have a bit darker shade than this one. Think yeah, can go a bit darker. Seems like a better shade than this. Yeah, this is a bit dark. This is a bit darker than this. I'm happy with this shade, and this definitely is lighter than this one. Now coming to the lighter side, trying to go a bit lighter than this one. Yeah, I think that shade seems good. Trying to vary my pencil strokes. Yeah, I think this is a bit lighter than this one. Wow, I will make this one the lightest, or not lightest, but middle. Oh, okay, seems to have gone dark. May rub a bit. Yep. So this is a much better shade. Seems darker than this and lighter than this. Scumbling. That's the pencil stroke. This is the last square and we're done in a little bit. Trying to get any point shade over the square. Yeah, definitely. This is lighter than this and darker than this. Maybe I can make this a bit more dark. See if it is going to be a bit lighter. Somewhat this square and this square is almost same. So I will rub this and I will try to do it again. I need to be very careful with this. The lighter side especially seems a bit true. Yeah, I think this shade should be good. Yeah. Now I think I should be happy with this. In summary, first I did 3 squares, then 5 squares, then 7 squares. You can extend it more squares, but I think that up to 7 squares you will be having a good practice and you will have a better control on the shading aspects of your pencil. Should be observing on how the variations of the shades are there when you progress from left to right on those squares, the rightmost square being the darkest and the leftmost square being the lightest, and in between the squares should have slightly varying shades. Practicing this exercise will help you with shading better with pencils. See, what I have shown is with the graphite pencil, but you can use the same thing to practice with colored pencils so that your shading improves. Hope you enjoyed this exercise. Let me know your thoughts about this.